You're at 69% battery? And you were fully charged when you came in?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, Liz, you want an interview? You can be my first interview. All right. I'm here with the infamous LizDesert Dodgerette, the runner of the Dodgers Brooklyn to Los Angeles family page. And Liz is my accompaniment to this first Dodger game of the season, opening day 2013. And Liz, I'm going to ask you a few questions.
The Giants suck, first of all.
Okay, I didn't even need to ask that question to know it. We know now the Giants suck. I don't think anybody who's a Dodger fan is going to dispute that. So, first question, how long have you been a Dodger fan?
Well, since I'm a conservative kind of a person, Republican Party, I'm going to say at conception.
At conception.
Yes.
So we are going with the life begins at conception law.
Exactly.
And Liz is going to say that is when she became a Dodger fan.
Exactly.
I like that.
Probably about, I was born in 1970, so sometime in 69.
You know what? There's probably some people that are pro-choice and don't believe that who will say, you know what, we'll make an exception and allow you that argument.
All right.
So we'll go with that. When was your first Dodger game?
My first actual Dodger game, I was 16. I didn't go to Dodger Stadium or to a game until I was 16. And actually, my husband Pete took me to my first Dodger game. We sat over in the reserve, we were on the other side.
Right field side, so so basically right across from where we are now.
And Fernando Valenzuela was pitching, and he actually hit a home run that game.
Wow.
Out into the right field pavilion.
Now Fernando was a bit of a power hitter, but even at that, he didn't hit that many home runs. So that's kind of a unique experience. I think he maybe hit. I think he hit. You know, I'm just trying to recall the top of my mind. I think he hit about 10 in his career.
Okay.
So.
Well, I saw one of them.
You saw one of them, and that's pretty unique.
I have the ticket stub at home. I don't know the exact date, but I know it was in '87.
87. So the year before the World Series.
Uh-huh.
So you've been coming to Dodger games for a long time.
And ever since then, ever since 16, I was 16, I try to catch games every season since then.
How many games do you usually go to in a season?
Well, last year was my epic year. I came to 20 games. 20
games total? And before that, like, what would a normal year be for you?
Probably like 4 to 5.
4 to 5, but you come from a long ways away.
Yes.
How long does it take you to get to Dodger Stadium?
2 hours, so it's a 4-hour round trip.
So
from the desert.
So,
woo, the desert!
So it takes a little bit of dedication to maintain that fandom.
Does.
And so 22 games last year coming from the desert. That is pretty big. So, obviously, you know, if we flash forward to more recent times, you lived through the McCourt era.
Yes, I did.
What are your thoughts on Frank McCourt?
Next question.
All right. And what are your thoughts on the new ownership led by Mark Walter and Magic Johnson and Stan Kasten?
Well, I think they're doing a great job. We came into the stadium, we saw so much improvement. I think so far the thing I liked the best were those life-size bobbleheads. Those are so cool.
Those are pretty awesome, I think, too. Now, obviously, having lived through the McCourt era, he who shall not be named is, I mean, literally, he's almost to that point.
That bastard never put up the Think Blue sign back up.
And it's still not back up, but I'd imagine that they will figure out a way to get that back up there.
They're going to put it back up. It might not happen this season, but they did say it's going back up.
It was a little bit of a vicious windstorm that brought that sign down, obviously. Yes. But, you know, maybe part of it is, too, they want to make sure that it's reinforced right so that doesn't happen again. Now, 2008, 2009 were exciting times around the ballpark in spite of the McCourt era. But obviously we had a taint with PEDs, especially with Manny Ramirez. What exactly are your thoughts on Manny Ramirez?
I don't like Manny Ramirez.
Do you have?
And it's not because of the whole steroid thing. When he first came to us, I didn't like him from the beginning. I didn't like him. I didn't like that they signed him. I did not like it.
So really, no good feelings about Manny Ramirez. If we had just stuck with our core, so to speak, not brought in Manny and missed the playoffs, would that have been okay with you?
Obviously not. I want the team to do good. I'm just saying, like, just like right now, I don't like Uribe. He's a piece of shit. You know? Giants trash. We should have left him up north. But, I mean, anything for the team, of course I'm going to support. But as just personally, me, I disliked him.
Do you feel that bringing him over set us back by giving up guys like Andy LaRoche and...
Sure.
So there's definitely a feeling of a setback that we got 2 years of gains out of him, obviously. And I mean, even with the tape, there's exciting times around the ballpark, and you wanted to see him do well just because that meant the Dodgers would do well while he was here.
Of course.
But in some ways, that kind of movement did seem to set us back a little bit. Now, switching gears once again, who is your favorite all-time Dodger player?
All time?
All time.
Dude. It would have to be the Bulldog.
Orler Scheiser. Over Fernando, even.
Over Fernando.
And over Matt Kemp.
Don't get crazy.
So can we safely say that Matt Kemp is your favorite current Dodger?
Third Dodger? No, he would. There's some more before him.
Well, in terms of current Dodgers, though, would Matt Kemp be your favorite?
Yeah, hands down right now.
Hands down right now.
I already told you I would throw my underwear at him.
Where do you see the team going this year?
All the way, baby.
All the way? You're calling World Series 2013 right now.
Right now.
Well, they definitely brought the ballpark up to World Series caliber.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
We've walked around, we've seen that. We've seen some of the ambiance, the bands playing, the bobbleheads.
The playground, there's a little playground.
A little playground for the kids.
My kids are grown, but that would have been really nice.
Yeah, I mean, things like that have just been significant upgrades to the ballpark that we haven't seen in recent years. Mm-hmm. So, final thoughts here. We winning today?
Of course we are.
Are we winning big today?
I think you know what? I'm a true sports fan. I think it's going to be close. I got to give the Giants a little bit of credit.
All right.
But I think we come out on top. We're going to win. Let me see. I think it's going to be about 6-4, 6-5, somewhere around there in our favor.
6-4, 6-5 in our favor. Sounds like a good score prediction. And in terms of individual accolades, and obviously you want the team first in all aspects, but do you see an MVP or a Rookie of the Year or a Cy Young on this team this year?
On this team? Well, I don't know if he'll come or not, but I want Quig. I want Quig on the team this season, before the season is over. I think he's a beast. I think he's going to do really well for us. He's gonna make things happen. I'm positive about that. And I called that last season when we signed him. I said he was going to play this season.
Well, he looked very good coming out of spring training.
Now 560 something, I think.
It was over 500. It was definitely over 500 with some pop and some big hits, really. Yeah. Now, obviously, you talked about Uribe being trash. Do you think there's any chance that he gets hot at some point this year and does some things for the team? Obviously, he's under contract for one more year at about $8 million. And as much as he has been garbage, you got to admit it'd be nice to get a little bit of that money's worth out of him.
Does a duck have lips? No, but Kershaw. You know what? I think I want to change my answer a little bit as far as the score today.
All right.
Because I think Kershaw is going to shut him down. So I think it's actually going to be a little bit lower. He might even go the whole game today.
So you're thinking possibly complete game, shutout, or maybe one run?
Yeah, you know what? I don't even know how that slipped my mind. Kershaw was playing. I had his shirt on. I don't know how I forgot that. But I think he's going to do really well. If history repeats itself, he's always done very well against the Giants. So I think the score is going to actually be a little bit lower for them.
Sounds like a very good possibility. Clayton looked a little bit shaky early on in spring training, but as spring training went along and he got his strength going, he was looking pretty good, I thought.
Yeah. I mean, spring training, he was a little bit shaky there at the beginning, but like you said, he came back here, and he's our ace.
So hopefully a big game out of Clayton today. Now, speaking of aces, and I mean, obviously Matt Cain has been a pretty good pitcher for the Giants the last few years. Tim Lincecum. And we'll get on the subject of Lincecum right now. What is wrong with Tim Lincecum?
Where do I start? All the way from his teeth to his hair.
So you're going to blame his hygiene?
He did get a haircut though, right?
He did get a haircut. Actually, I thought he looked better with the scarecrow hair.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's that bad.
I haven't seen him recently. I think he's hitting that pipe too much. I don't think he's going to do very well this season. He's going to be having withdrawals.
Sounds good. Now, looking through the rest of the league, just to kind of get your feeling on baseball in general this year, do you see any teams in the rest of the league that you think are going to surprise anyone this year?
As far as the National League?
Either league.
American League? I think the Astros.
They looked really good last night.
I think they're in a new league now. They really have nothing to lose.
And an $18 million payroll.
Yes.
Which they used to slaughter the Texas Rangers last night.
They beat the Rangers last night. I think that's a team to watch this year, Astros. And unfortunately, I have a little bit of a tie to the Astros. As you know, I have a lot of family from Texas. Most of them are Rangers fans, but there are some old school Astro fans in my family. But my son, at age 14, came to me and said he was no longer a Dodger fan. Broke my heart. He's an Astro fan. He's been an Astro fan since he was about 14.
But they do look, despite the youth movement, despite the low payroll, they do look very good. They do have some talent on that team, so they might surprise some people. Maybe sneak in with that wild card.
I think so. That's the team I'm going to be watching in the American League.
And you speak also, Puig you spoke about earlier. What do you think of Yoenis Cespedes up in Oakland?
I think he's going to do well.
I think possibly A's are going to take the American League West this year. I mean, the Angels.
They look really good. They beat the Giants twice.
They beat them 2 out of 3 in
their little Bay Area, whatever they call it.
The Bay Bridge series or the BART series, either way. They look very good in that sort of thing. Now, Yankees, Red Sox.
They went pretty far last season.
They did. Yankees and Red Sox over in the AL East might not be the dominant teams over there this year.
I think they're overrated. They always have been.
What do you think about Toronto?
Blue Jays?
The Blue Jays. They made a pretty good acquisition when they picked up some pieces from the Marlins last year.
Well, yeah, the Marlins got rid of their whole team almost.
And half of them went to the Blue Jays.
Yeah, well, hopefully they'll be able to do something that they didn't do over in Florida.
And final question.
I'm not really worried about the National League at all. I mean the American League, because when we get there, I'm telling you, we're winning it all. Doesn't matter who's there.
So put us up against anyone, we win.
Anybody.
Okay, and now to the final question, so that I keep this thing YouTube legal, as I like to call it, under 15 minutes.
Okay.
How many times are you coming to the ballpark this year?
This year?
Yeah.
I would like to come up. Well, I want to at least get in 20 games like I did last season. Maybe 25, 30 games.
Sounds good to me. LizDesert Dodgerette, always a pleasure. Thanks for your time.